really voting against Creator, who's got a 2-7 record versus Zerg, more than I'm voting for DRG.
Yeah, and I mean, this map is Outboxer, and we just saw, who was it, Sue? We saw
Sue over Oz.
Completely destroy Oz on that map, to a point anyway. And
the thing for me is, like, I don't think it's quite that nature of, like, one player's the favorite and the other one's kind of the underdog here. I think that Creator actually, you know, this is definitely his worst matchup. You can give that to him, but I kind of have faith in him to go aggressive here on this map, and I'm not confident in DRG's tools in holding off that aggression. That's why I vote for Creator here, especially on this map.
Well, if you look at DRG's stats overall, he's not as successful as Creator. His matchup is a little bit stronger at 3 and 4, but still that in itself isn't that impressive. He lost his last 2 games, and he's only 2 and 5 in total out of his last recent games. So not looking like the strongest player, but like I said, for me, I'm mostly voting against Creator more than I'm voting for DRG. Just because I feel like DRG is, even though this is not like a matchup where one player is favored matchup-wise, I feel like things are looking a little bit worse for Creator. But seems like you, Brendan, and the Koreans have a lot of faith in Creator. Let's find out which one of these 2 players is going to put their team into the 2-1 lead.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here in the top left, in the purple for Prime, it is Creator.
Into the bottom right in teal for MVP, it's DongRaeGu. DRG, the final boss.
big boss of MVP.
One of our fans here coming down to watch Pro League, got the headset on, listen to English commentary. Thank you so much for coming.
Much love.
Much love indeed. A very friendly guy. Spoke to him earlier.
Yeah.
Very cool dude. Anybody who comes to Pro League Studio is like a cool dude by default, but he's like one of the cooler dudes. So
The guy with the hair the other day was a cool dude as well.
yeah, we got a lot of cool dudes coming down here.
Yeah.
For sure. Cool dudettes as well.
Yes.
Not just
Very
limited
true.
to dudes.
Sure.
Short hair, long hair, beard, no beard, glasses, no glasses, you know. Team Salmon, even not on Team Salmon, it's all right. If you want to be on Team Salmon, all you have to do is wear the gear.
Yep. There's only one requirement.
What is the gear?
It's the gear. It's the Team Salmon gear. That's what you have to wear.
So salmon colored anything?
No, just Team Salmon gear.
Oh, okay. Right.
Not Team Salmon. No, you
Right.
I'm like, yeah,
Right.
well, you actually cover yourself in pink salmon. I'm like, no, that's not the gear. Like, you paint yourself pink. I'm like, no, that's not being part of Team Salmon. You just gotta wear the gear.
So you can't be sunburned. That's not Team Salmon.
No, it doesn't count.
No, that does not count. That's Team Lobster. This is really annoying, actually, this denial here by DRG.
I think we saw the exact same thing from Sue versus Oz. We saw a drone first scout into a hatchery first and a denial of this Nexus first by a long time.
I have to say, DRG is actually a lot more successful with his.
Oh, be careful, DRG. But a great delay there.
Yeah.
Really
Delaying
good.
it by at least 10, 15 seconds. So annoying to deal with as well. It really gets into your opponent's head. It's not really just about the time. It's about, like, being so annoying and getting your opponent on tilt.
Yeah. It's almost like he was almost late so much that it was basically reasonable for him to go gateway before Nexus. Like,
yeah, almost.
Yeah.
For sure.
It was close. Well, Creator with the counter scout over here is going to scout the third base up before the pool.
Feigning some sort of pylon aggression here.
yeah, I don't think DRG is going to fall for it.
Well, he's got one drone chasing it, so I guess he wants to be a little bit careful. But, yeah, he'll be just fine. Just fine and very greedy play.
Thing is, if he has to pull drones, it's like a really far pull, right? So
Yeah, but he wants to. He thinks he has to. He's very, very scared of getting cannon rushed, as is every Zerg.
You see it in your nightmares movie?
Oh, I have amazing nightmares about cannon rushing, for sure.
amazing nightmares.
Yeah, it's like I'm so amazed that like I wake up and I'm like so terrified, sort of thing.
Life, it's like a maze.
Yeah.
I'm just amazed.
When I'm flipping through the pages.
Yeah. I remember that map.
Yeah.
Went extinct.
That map did not make it.
Thank goodness.
But the air versus air PvPs were kind of cool.
I like the map,
They
actually.
were cool for like the first 2 games, and then it was like, well,
What was that map? Classic versus SOS. That match. That was a good one.
Sora versus S was my favorite.
That was a good one too.
yeah, they were good games. They're good to a point.
You just didn't like them because there was no Zerg.
Yeah, that's
Well,
all. That's it, Millie. When the Zerg player tried to nice and it didn't work, that's when you were like, I'm fed up with this map.
Yeah, you guys found me out. No Zerg, no thanks is my motto. But no, not really. I appreciate all races.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Good to know.
Yeah. No, big fan of Terran. Actually, I love TVT.
One of my favorite matchups as well.
Yeah,
if not
actually-
my favorite.
Like, I don't normally play Terran. I can play Terran to a pretty good level, but I do appreciate their TVT more than anything else. See a scout with the Overlord. Doesn't
Fails
really
to
get
see the
much.
Robo, though, yeah.
It doesn't get
Yeah.
to see really anything.
I think we're going to see another Sentry drop. Or not Sentry drop, but a Warp Prism in general. It used to be only Sentry drops that we'd see, but now it seems to be Zealots are more popular.
Oh,
So
yeah.
my mouth always goes towards Sentries, but it's...
Well, it could very well be an Immortal all-in. It could very well be... It could be some Warp Prism harassment,
Yeah,
but
you know, we haven't seen an Immortal all-in Pro League in quite some time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
it's been a long
actually.
time, but I mean, it's still very very viable.
It's still a powerful build.
And I mean, this map has a lot of corridors, which would be great for some good force field Immortals.
Also, the distance to the third base is
This
is
Ovi,
pretty
man.
Oh,
Oh!
he's hanging in there.
Sentry's like, sorry, your time's up.
He sees the 2
Yeah,
gases
he
on
sees
the
two
natural,
gas.
which
That's
is
the most important thing.
very important. Doesn't get to see the tech though, and we do see a Warp Prism coming out.
And a Sentry.
And
And a third
Terror,
Sentry.
Terror, I hope you're watching this game. You don't know what the tech is. You drop a Roach Horn.
Yeah, much better timing. Still a little bit late, but not the safest Roach Farm, but I mean, this is great timing. Halfway done already. About a 7-minute 20.
Whoa, look at
Double
this.
Stargate.
Double Stargate.
Interesting. I think,
Oh, he's
He's
going to
taking the
take
island.
the island
We-
and
we've seen
then
this before.
Sentry drop.
But we got an Overlord here waiting for it. He's going to see the Warp Prism, and he's going to know exactly
Oh,
what's
that
going
timing.
on. Wow.
That is so awesome.
That's
Nice.
super clutch right there. Now, it doesn't mean he could stop it, though.
No.
That's
Uh,
true. There was a game we saw, I think it was Rain versus Leenock on this map, where Rain did the same thing. He dropped some of those things. I think he even did the Sentry drop, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he did, yeah, he did something similar to this. Well, hold that thought. Let's see how much he can get done with this Sentry drop. Looks like he's actually going to trap drones instead of
Yeah.
I don't actually really like these types of Sentry drops too much.
Yeah, well, I mean, it really depends if the ramp has been covered or not. And it has been covered. It has been kind of scattered out, the Warp Prism, that is.
So they're actually
we'll do what
trapping
he
a
can.
lot of drones.
Yeah. It's not going to do... I mean, it'll
It's
hurt
kind
a
of
little
annoying,
bit.
basically.
It's annoying, but it's like really not doing that much.
If he keeps it alive, it's going to be great. Now, Spire started here, but
Yeah.
already the double Stargate is to control the air so that he can make sure that he holds that island base.
Yeah, so this is actually looking really bad for DongRaeGu. If he's actually going to invest into air, this is going to be a big problem. He's going to get shut down completely.
Just going to force field here again and then pick up. This is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. It's like the same idea as like a Manor Pylon in StarCraft 1 to stop workers from mining, trap them.
That's true.
It's only temporary, but like it's costing him only energy. He's literally not lost a Sentry.
No.
That may change though. That Warp Prism is getting really low.
Oh.
This is the scout here with this Overseer in the main base that's going to tell DongRaeGu everything he wants to know. He's going to see both of those Stargates.
Oh, we're going to see a recall on the probes too. That's
Yep.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Very,
Yeah.
very nice.
That's insta-saturate.
The instant saturate. I like that a lot.
This is not going to work.
nope.
In
Little
fact,
bit of-
he needs to pick up right now.
A little bit of harassment. But fourth base, very nice timing on that fourth base, getting up very quickly.
So, Moonlight, in your professional Zerg Pro player opinion, what do you think is the best response now that he's scouted the double Stargate? Is it just a ground army?
Yep.
And to
Definitely.
attack into the natural or
Ground
something?
army for sure. He knows exactly what it is, so he can do like a Hydra timing, or he could do he could just kind of like control the ground, take an extra base, which he is going for a fifth, and kind of gear towards the late game. Maybe Swarm Hosts into that kind of Swarm Host play, or he could go for like maybe a lot of Vipers, Abduct, and kind of take it that way, because there is no Templar Archives on the map anytime soon. No Templars to feed back any Vipers. He could definitely pick up a lot of stuff. And we see 5 Corruptors on the map, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I think he's maybe scared about like a mass Phoenix play that like kills all of his overlords.
Maybe,
or
but I
something.
mean, like Hydra would be just such a much better choice in this point.
I think so too, but
The Corruptors are, yeah, that's the thing. They're just going to be sitting in the air for a long time, just like as a defensive unit.
he's also going into like 9 in total now.
I think maybe he want to like, yeah,
He's losing a lot of these roaches too.
yeah, and he's obviously seen like these Void Rays too. So he's like, okay, so he's like making some Void Rays too. So obviously Corruptors won't be that useful. And I think what he really wants to do is find this War Prism, which is pretty cool. Which is kind of a cool thing. He wants to get rid of that, which he will.
Yep.
Sentry's going to guard the island.
Look at that guy. Sentry's over there on the island.
Oh, we're actually going to see Mutalisk from this. So he actually wants to fight this 2 Stargate.
Yeah.
He wants to go head-to-head with Stargate. Which
That's
is
actually kind of a cool response because it's not what Creator is going to be expecting, right? He's going to be like, okay, well,
yeah, well, he sees these Corruptors. He's like,
now he's seeing it and he's like, okay, I guess maybe I need to make more Phoenixes. It's really hard to say.
yeah, which, very interesting. I mean, obviously there hasn't been that many Phoenixes made, which is a really good thing. But maybe we'll see that change very soon. We'll have to wait and see what Creator's response is.
Where are the cannons over here at this
Yeah,
base?
there's no
Where's
cannons. He
the
actually has to like
defense?
recall
Yeah,
over that
he's
base. But
actually
if he
just-
does, then he's stuck on the island for a little while.
Oh, there's a run-in at the front of the base now. It's going to be cleaned up, but still.
Creator is falling apart. Like, there's like no ant. He's actually just
He's
going to
like
lose
falling
his Nexus,
apart
I
to a
think.
point where it just doesn't kind of make sense in a way. I mean, he's going to lose his 5th base for sure, DongRaeGu that is, but he lost every probe on that 3rd base. And it looks like Creator's just going to try and do maximum economic damage he can.
He
and
has a
kinda get out of
recall
there.
available, so
Yeah.
when the mutas come back, he can recall.
So interesting, though. Like, we see no Phoenix production at all whatsoever, so he just doesn't want to invest in that. Oh, and
Oh, the Mothership Core is targeted
Oh
down, and
my
now he
God.
cannot recall. And here come the Corruptors. They're going to start helping out here as well. They've been using some corruption here, and I think Creator is dead. There's like nothing he could do now.
Yeah.
He's way behind.
What?
This is when like Moonglade and I like high five on the table. I'm like Team DRG.
Team DRG. But like, I kind of have like a brain explosion right now as to like what just happened exactly. Like, he had the perfect counter to what DongRaeGu was going to do.
He didn't make Phoenixes. He didn't
almost
make
like he didn't-
cannons.
It's almost like he didn't even notice.
No.
He saw the mutas, but he.
And then he loses his Mothership Core in like the most basic way. Like, okay, I'm not going to recall out. I'm just going to lose it and lose my army. And now Mass Mutalists are fighting Mass Stalker in the
Corruption
natural.
going down,
There's
and
not enough mutas there. He's got to be careful here.
yeah, he's actually losing
Well,
quite a bit of those. And
He
yeah,
lost a lot
Corruptors
of
are
mutas,
expensive.
but still, like.
Still, this 3rd base is completely empty. No cannons whatsoever. Nothing
Yeah,
to
he's just gonna
defend.
hit
He's
that
like
on
just
his way
going
out.
to return. He's like, I'm
Like,
back again.
I'm back.
I thought we'd stop by the Creator's 3rd base and
Yeah.
make a mess of things on our way home.
Get some probe farming in and
Unpower the gates first. He's like not even killing the Nexus because it's basically at this point an expensive pylon. That's a lot of hit points.
just
Like,
a paperweight at this point.
yeah, I mean he spends all the chrono on it as you guys just saw there, but
And we
DT
see
harass
we
this.
see the DT comeback as
DT
we saw
comeback.
from Oz, but I mean it's just not enough, and it's only 1 DT at this moment.
yeah, and it's not going to be enough to kill that hatch, I don't think. Overseer's being morphed, and he almost has like enough mutas to just like straight up fight this. I think he might.
He might, but I mean, you always want to fight when you have like overwhelming odds, so you don't trade as like it's not trade for trade. It's more like one-sided. So I kind of see him not really want to deal with it just yet.
DT
But-
gets cleaned,
Yeah, DT clean.
and this Nexus will get cleaned.
Yep. And now it's just kind of like building up that mutable. He's already got like enough Zerglings to kind of buffer and take all the shots from the Stalkers. So it's really just, I think he'll eventually rotate up there and kind of finish the job.
Yeah.
Well, there's like no way for Creator to even base trade, right? I mean,
Oh no, there's nothing. I mean, he lost his base trade capabilities when he threw away that army. And I mean, that is a lot of Stalkers, but I mean, Stalkers aren't really the answer to Mass Muter. You need some sort of AoE, which is usually going to be Storm or Archon.
Well, he's trying to get his Archons. This is not enough Stalkers right here,
No,
especially with corruption on all of them. But he brings back the whole of his army.
nice
and,
snap on that Archon.
Yeah.
We got 1 sentry, like so helpful, but
Zergling's going to come in again. Going to try and take out this Nexus.
yeah, I think he can actually just get it. He's splitting Creator up here, now starting to pick off these Stalkers. Stalkers come over here, which means the Nexus goes down. I think. Actually, it looks like
I
he
think
ran
he got
away.
fended off by like Sentry Immortal.
For now, it survives, but
for now, but it's only a matter of time. If those mutas go up top and they all fight together like Mutaling, it's not going to be enough army to deal with this.
So the plan here for Creator is just simply to turtle and hope that eventually DRG makes enough mistakes so that he trades efficiently, he catches up, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think this is going to be the end. Snipes the Mothership Core again, snipes the Nexus, runs away.
And he's on 6 base now against
Yeah.
essentially a 2-base Protoss.
His creep spread's not bad either. He's got them connected.
Yep.
Baneling speed. He's like, at this point, he can pretty much make whatever he wants.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's only Stalkers you're dealing with, then Banelings are great too. It forces them to kind of split up. It's giving them terrible sort of concaves to deal with mass mutas or anything like that.
There are going to be very expensive, useless units, though, without speed against this kind of army.
It's going to be slow, but I mean, it's still going to kind of like zone them out a bit. So they can't just sit there and comfortably shoot Mutalisks or anything. They're going to have to be blinking around and splitting up a lot.
This is so many Mutalisks, and the Banelings roll in.
Yeah,
a bunch of good blinks, but still, like, how are you going to blink away from this many Banelings?
Way too many Banes, way too much AoE here. And as the Stalkers fall, the game will end. Tough loss here for Creator. Just not really any response at all there to that harassment to the Mutalisks that he scouted.
Yeah.
Gonna have
just no counter. I mean, he had 2 Stargates, but he didn't make enough Phoenix, and maybe he thought like, oh, DongRaeGu won't go mass muta for sure. He saw 2 Stargate already. Wrong.
Well, he saw the Mutalisks too and just did not start responding. He didn't add cannons.
He could have
Didn't
definitely
respond correctly.
Yeah,
He's like actually so shocked he can barely even type out. Like he's.
Well, like, yeah, I wonder where his head was at. Like, I wonder what he was thinking exactly
When he was
during this
chrono
time.
boosting out his Immortals and stuff.
Yeah, or like
As you saw the,
when we saw
the mass air.
We saw no cannons, we saw no Phoenix, we saw no sort of anti-air protecting that third base whatsoever. DongRaeGu kind of just casually went for Mutalisks, like after scouting this base. And, like,
GG.
Just GG.
Well, DRG takes the win. This is the kind of weird slump that Creator's in that made me vote against him.
Yeah, I have to say I definitely overestimated Creator in this matchup. His PVZ especially, like that was just kind of weird play. We've seen 3, excuse me, I have to be honest, like not so good games out of the losing player. Like for the last 3 games that we saw Terra and then Hiva and now Creator go down in pretty embarrassing fashion.
That's a really good point.
We've actually seen 3 really gritty players.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
true.
And they haven't been really prepared for what's coming every single time. I mean, Creator was the closest to being prepared. He had the infrastructure. He was ready to produce the counter, but he just didn't make it.
He just didn't do it.
Yeah, and it's I
simple
guess
as
it's
that.
easy for us to say we see all the tech and we see the mutas on the production tab as they're literally being loaded in front of our faces. So of course